The downfall of Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres, the embattled comedian, announced last year that she will end her eponymous talk show after the next season. According to the Post, the writing was already on the wall. Her contract was set to expire in 2022. The official reason for DeGeneres' departure is that her show is no longer a challenge. But she's been dogged by scandals for months, and Ellen has reportedly seen a drop in ratings and its ability to book A-list guests. Since allegations of a toxic workplace environment behind the scenes on Ellen surfaced last year, DeGeneres has become a lightning rod for controversy, contrasting with her affable public image and her catchphrase, "Be kind." The reporting, which included allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment by producers, resulted in a Warner Media investigation and the dismissal of 3 producers from the show. One former employee told BuzzFeed News, "That be kind bullshit only happens when the cameras are on. It's all for show." DeGeneres declined to comment on this article, but she addressed the controversy on air in her first season 18 monologue 2 months later. She said, "As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show, and then there was an investigation." She then added, "I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people that were affected. I take responsibility for what happens at my show." DeGeneres burst onto the stand-up comedy scene in the 1980s, with a breakthrough appearance on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson in 1986. Her sitcom Ellen, which aired from 1994 to 1998, catapulted her to fame. She made television history by coming out as gay on the Puppy episode in Season 4, which aired on April 30th, 1997. She also graced the cover of Time and appeared on specials with Oprah and Diane Sawyer. Aside from the Ellen DeGeneres Show, Ellen has a full schedule, including Ellen's Game of Games and The Masked Dancer on NBC, Ellen's Next Great Designer on HBO Max, and Endangered on Discovery Plus. However, there were hints along the way that DeGeneres wasn't living up to her "be kind" mantra. For example, when Mariah Carey appeared on Ellen in 2008, DeGeneres pressed her to reveal her pregnancy on television. Carey said on screen, when DeGeneres offered her champagne, "I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen. This is peer pressure." After Carey pretended to take a sip, DeGeneres called out, "You're pregnant." Tragically, Carey ended up having a miscarriage. Her twins with ex-husband Nick Cannon were born on 2011. Ellen has drawn A-listers who knew they'd be treated with kid gloves, but aside from Carey's interview, there have been a few awkward moments, such as Dakota Johnson's 2019 appearance in which DeGeneres accused Johnson of not inviting her to her birthday party. Johnson said, "Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen." Even before Ellen was formally investigated for its toxic workplace environment, rumors about DeGeneres' behavior began to circulate in March 2020, thanks to a viral Twitter thread started by comedian Kevin T. Porter, who asked people to respond with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean. His responses were replete with anecdotes, such as one from Chris Farah, a former waitress who claimed to have served DeGeneres. Farah shared, "She wrote a letter to the owner and complained about my chipped nail polish. Not that it was on her plate, but just that it was on my hand. I had worked till closing the night before, and this was next morning. Almost got me fired." Another fan chimed in and alleged, "My friend wrote for the Ellen Show for 2 years and told me Ellen didn't greet her once." In fact, upon employment, staff were told they weren't allowed to talk to her. Writer and comedian Benjamin Simon claimed that DeGeneres had bizarre rules about her employees' hygiene. He said, "She has a sensitive nose, so everyone must chew gum from a bowl outside her office before talking to her, and if she thinks you smell that day, you have to go home and shower." He continued, "A new staff member was told, every day she picks someone different to really hate," adding, "It's not your fault. Just suck it up for the day and she'll be mean to someone else the next day." They didn't believe it, but it ended up being entirely true. These accounts painted a tyrannical picture that is a far cry from DeGeneres' nice persona, and from the underdog she began with after her coming out moment and its fallout. The investigation into Ellen's workplace also followed a 2021 Variety report that crew members were enraged after Ellen abandoned them with no communication about their continued employment once the pandemic hit. But even now that the dominoes have fallen on Ellen, it's not black and white, since not everyone sees her as a villain. A source close to the production told the Post, "The truth is there's a lot of gratitude among her staff that she didn't just quit after last summer. And this has kept them all employed this season during a pandemic. And now they all get to work for a whole other season next year." Talking to The Hollywood Reporter last year about the end of Ellen, DeGeneres said, "This culture we're living is one where you can't learn and grow, which is, as human beings, what we're here to do." The case against Ellen is founded on hypocrisy. There's no way of knowing if her reputation has been permanently harmed, though public memories are short and cancel culture doesn't exist. She can easily take her millions and numerous awards, retire to her Montecito estate, and continue producing shows such as The Masked Dancer, Ellen's Next Great Designer, and Green Eggs and Ham, among others.